Sawadee krab. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have 25 minutes to tell you about my life for the last 50 years, so it won't take much. But probably one of the most important things in my life has been that I've had the joy of being a change maker over the last 50 years, of course, with the help of others. I think we need to recognize the world needs change. Change cannot happen without helpers, without givers. And I think my work has been because I've had a chance to have some excellent givers that have given me the chance to be a change maker, and I hope it has given some people some happiness. And again, change seldom happens in isolation. We need givers, and governments cannot change so much. It's the people from the outside that can make changes. You've already seen this morning the lives of people that have been changed by such people. And during the last 50 years, I've had the fortune of being involved in creating change in 5 areas in Thailand in the last 50 years. And some people say these have made significant changes in the lives of people, in particular in rural areas. I designed the projects, requested the funds from givers to launch the activities. Now, I think I'd like to stress that none of the work and none of the success would have been possible without the generosity of givers. I don't think I could have done any of this if I did not have the givers. The first journey was trying to reduce births. The Thai government did not agree with me for 5 years. I tried very, very hard. It did not work. And this was the case, 7 children per family, and we could not sustain this. But the government at the time, the Prime Minister at the time, 50 years ago, wanted us to be a superpower by having lots of children. But anyway, my philosophy was take no as a question, not no as an answer, and keep on, keep on, keep on. So in the end, the Prime Minister gave up, and we started our work by getting assistance. Firstly, the doctor started prescribing the pills, just like the rest of the world. But we had one doctor for 110,000 women. That's not possible. So we got nurses and midwives to join in. That only covered 20% of all the villages in Thailand. What do we do next? So again, get some other people to join change making. Get others to become also givers. So we pioneered what was called community-based contraceptive distribution system by training shopkeepers and villagers to prescribe contraceptives. This is back in 1974. Even today, most countries still require a doctor to prescribe the pill. I think we can use the doctor for more things than that. And so here's a typical person that made the change in this society. We always had the belief that apart from taking no as a question, make sure it's sustainable, and empower the people you're trying to help. So they're the ones that are now helping the one we tried to help. So now all the villagers in Thailand can get contraceptives through local shopkeepers. And the government has now accepted it and it's become part of the government process in terms of the volunteers. So this was the first time that a community-based system was introduced in any country in the world, and was adopted now by the government as a village health volunteer. Again, when you start something, government can join in. So these were the people also. This is the family planning floating market. You sell crabs, bananas, and contraceptives. We brought in some more people, new change makers. These are teachers. We went to the teachers to add to the program 320,000 rural school teachers. We'd had a new alphabet put in. But in English would be that B for birth, C for condom, I for IUD, V for vasectomy, and so on. And we also had a new song. We turned the Jingle Bell song into a song with every contraceptive method in it. So every child knew every contraceptive method. And then we had taxi drivers also helping us in family planning. You provide pills and condoms in the taxis, why not? And of course, this is what happened. From 7 children in 1974, 1970, down to 1.5. And of course, I'm now being blamed for all the old people in Thailand. So we will have something this afternoon about how to help old people, and we've been working those things out. And so that's the case. Then in the mid-1980s, AIDS hit Thailand. The government reaction, total denial. We do not have a problem. Total denial. And no media coverage was allowed. And this, the minister in charge of broadcasting said not allowed. I knew we had a serious problem. We estimated that within 10 years we could have up between 2 and 4 million infections. But the government didn't believe it. So I said, well, I have to take notice of the question. The government ministers are paid by my tax money. So I own the country, I got to do something too. Don't leave it all to the government. So what did I do? I went around the situation. I took notice of the question and went to see the commander-in-chief of the army. And I explained the situation to him, and he agreed that by that time, about 14% of men of military age from the north were already infected with HIV. And he said, okay, how can I help? And I said, I'd like to borrow 300 radio stations from the military and 2 television networks to provide all the slides, videos, and cassette tapes on radio and on television so the Thai public could learn the truth. And that was done. But much better than that, the government only had 22 radio stations. We had 300. And again, this is where the army came in to help make change, quite unusual. And then soon after that, we had a new prime minister, Kunanan, and he asked me to join his government. And I was asked to do many things, including the zoo, but also in broadcasting and also in tourism. So I brought in all the press, gave them the truth, said, do not scare people, help them, let them understand. And every hour of broadcast, it was compulsory to have half a minute of AIDS education. And we gave you half a minute extra to earn income from advertising. So that worked well. Then we went to companies and said that sick staff don't work, dead customers don't buy, so educate your staff, educate your customers. And then we went to universities and said, you come from schools, secondary schools, we want you to help. So we trained you, and then you go back to your schools, get your younger brothers and sisters involved, train the younger ones, and then finally get down to the primary school. And there was one day in 1991 that every student in every school in Thailand given a package of condoms and AIDS information, and they went to every household, every household. This was done from idea from the outside into the government. The hand was a hand of the private sector, so to speak, but we had the glove of the government. So that's what happened. And then we asked companies, so you see, Avon, AIA, everybody else, printing AIDS information and giving to all the customers. And you even went to the ATM machines, when you put your card in, AIDS information came up first. So everybody helped. We knew it was total war. That's why the Prime Minister had to become the chairman of the National AIDS Committee. So this was pushed by change makers. Condoms, AIDS information given out everywhere. When you get on a bus, you get it. You're at the airport, you get it. Get on a plane, you get it. Toll booth. When you go up in the toll booth, got AIDS information and condom. And even policemen gave out traffic. So these are Cops and Rubbers program. So you can see everyone became a change maker rather than just leaving it all to the government. If it's in health, it would only be the Ministry of Health. Here we needed everyone to join it. Here as a statement, everyone is a change maker and they are helping to do things. They have changed the country. And this is what happened. Luckily, when we did the work, we thought that between 2 and 4 million infections would occur. The United Nations said that new infections declined by 90% over the 12 years, 13 years. And something that shocked me, surprised me, from the World Bank, said that during that period, 7.7 million lives had been saved. Imagine the catastrophe we would have faced as we had listened to the government, to the minister in charge of broadcasting. So take no as a question. Always keep on going. If it's the truth, if it's honest, no ulterior motives, keep on going. Don't give up. Take no as a question. And then the next one was to reduce poverty. Now, usually people think government can help can help to solve poverty. No, the government doesn't know how to make money. The government only knows how to take money. And the only road out of poverty is through business enterprise, not religion, not social welfare. So we knew that, so we went to the companies, again, to get them to be helpers and shareholders, got them to get people out of poverty by partnering with companies and rural villages. So again, givers helping us to do the job. So we did not use the handout approach, as it does not foster new skills, it does not empower, and it creates greater dependence. That's the thing we do not wish to make. We do not want to make greater dependence. And so the whole idea is to empower the community and to turn the poor into entrepreneurs, or we call them barefoot entrepreneurs, by providing business skills from the business community and access to credit by providing a loan fund given to the villagers and in partnership with companies. And this would enable the poor to earn more income and to pay for basic necessities of life. And again, self-esteem. Nothing is free. We do not wish to have anything free. We are not beggars. So the villagers plant trees to match the funding from the company. Each tree was $3 or 100 baht. So if you gave $1 million, they planted 10,000 trees. And within 25 years, the amount of money was worth more than what the company gave. So here is, you can invest in the future by ordinary people. And again, the giving can be done by many ways, as we've heard already this morning. And here's what we call a village development bank, a loan fund and savings run by the villagers. You get 3% interest. You pay 1% per month to borrow. And then it's run by half are women. At least half must be women. Many of them had more than half women. 50% of the profits went to health and went to education, elderly care, as determined by the villagers. And if you want to do income generation activities, here's an example, pig racing. This is making flowers from fish scales from the south and exported. Crab meat to have their own freezing network rather than to depend on the merchants. Mushrooms, flowers, water bottling in a village because the loan fund grew well. And what happened? A new occupation also came out, water sellers. They went to village. Again, by doing it this way, you're creating skills, creating businesses, and creating self-esteem. So that's the way to do it, and I think most helpers would like to see it done that way. And then the givers have enabled to empower the villagers to help themselves in over 2,000 communities. And then this is a very, very good example. In a place, if you have time to go, it's about an hour and a half from Bangkok. I asked some companies, this is 30 years ago, to go to a village to help. And this one in Saratburi, Kankoi, this village grew corn. And the company said, there's not much future in it. You're not going to make much of a profit. We need to do something else. And the villagers asked them, what's new? The company said, we're not sure. So why don't you come with us? 6 of them in a van for 3 days. They went around many parts and they decided they would start planting trees, growing trees. So they started raising trees, planting trees, and the trees got bigger. 3 months, 6 months, they could start selling. Then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. In the end, all the trees in golf courses, housing estates, highways, universities, even Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, all came from these villages. It was started by a couple of companies, not much money at all, but it was the right idea, the right time, and the right dedication by the people. You can see now it's 20 kilometers long on this highway with just trees and trees and trees and trees. Now it's stretched from Saratburi into Nakhon Nayok. And this is a typical household. The minimum household, minimum, is 1 million baht. Minimum. Other places about 30,000 baht in Thailand. The minimum is 1 million baht. The average is 4.5. And that's the typical household now. What has happened? This one village used 3,400 acres to grow plant trees, raise runs, and they're now earning 3 billion baht per year. Again, from a very small piece of help, but the right sort of activity, the right sort of idea. And that is now expanded to 15 other villages nearby. And these 15 villages have now earned 8 billion baht per year. And it all began with this very small thing. So it's now expanded and expanded. And then the fourth journey is to reduce financial dependence on donors, so social enterprise. So we did our own businesses to help things going because we could not give money away free. It was difficult to find donations, so we said, let's think of making money ourselves as well. So we established social enterprises, and since 1975, we did the social enterprises to ensure sustainability. Now here's an example, providing drinking water in terms of rain catchment water tanks. The villagers supplied the labor, we've supplied the technical skill, and they could earn money by and then to pay for the cement, only for the cement, and nothing else they had to pay. They had 2-3 years to pay for it. If you practice family planning, the price was reduced by 25%. And we had built more than the entire Thai government. It's really quite shocking. Not that we're great, but the government was asleep. And that's the case, getting water. And some doctors said, water for health. Ministry of Health said, water for health. I said, no, water for health and wealth creation. Use the water for your body, your house, as well as to earn income. And then you could pay for the water tank over time. And then we started with the help of a company to do chicken raising. That's about almost 100 meters long chicken pen. And we raised chickens. Then soon, before long, we changed our strategy. We got rid of the chickens, said goodbye to the chickens, to make alternative use. We could do better work for the people by changing from chickens to something else. What did we do? We turned it into factory buildings. And instead of taking people to machines, bring machines to people. And during this, we were able to employ 15,000 workers, and they got paid on a daily basis. Now that's much better than chicken. And so everyone was employed. So 15,000 people did not have to migrate. Today in Thailand, there's a lot of migration. We have 6 million children living with grandparents because their parents leave to earn an income. Why? Because when they were at school, they were not trained to do business. So that has to be something we do in the future. And so these are now the factories, and they've earned about 8.8 billion baht. And they don't have to migrate, they can stay at home. So we have to do a lot more of businesses out in rural setting. And then we also have a restaurant, which is Soi 12, called Cabbages and Condoms Restaurant. You can eat, they give you condoms after the meal, and all the decorations are condoms. And we even have a condom salad made of noodles. And that's what the restaurant looks like. All the lighting is condom, all the lights. And if you go there, after your meal, you can have a free vasectomy. Vasectomy in Thai is man chai. And this is given as UN best practice about the work of how organizations need to help themselves. And then finally, in my last 11 minutes, 42 seconds, a cheerful revolution to reduce ignorance by establishing the bamboo school. And we've got students with me tonight, and when I finish, they'll come and sing a song for you. And they are change makers and givers. And that's the entrance to the school. It's a school to foster change makers, social entrepreneurs, and givers. It's colorful. And we say a school like is a bridge to take you over troubled water. So we dug a pond, put a bridge over it, and say that's what a school stands for. It's colorful. And we want to advance from this to this. And this is what's happened in the school. Just to give you that, the school is of 180 children. It's a boarding school. And the students do this. All purchases are done by students, from food, books to vehicles, all. Nothing by teachers, all done by students. Where else are you going to learn how to be managers unless you learn in secondary school? University is not going to teach it to you, so do it in schools. All student and teacher recruitments are done by students. If a student wants to come to school, they are interviewed, recruited by the students. Teachers want a job, interviewed, recruited by by the students. If you can buy your own shoes, why can't you choose your own teacher? And they help in the management of the school, many committees, the environment, discipline, everything. That's they're learning how to, and of course, they pay their school fees in giving community service and tree planting, not in cash. By giving cash doesn't make you a better person. And so the school instills a great deal of empathy and sharing. That's one of the things that we need in all schools. Learn about sharing and learn about empathy. Students sit in wheelchairs. Every person must sit in a wheelchair for 1 day per month to learn about the realities of life and to admire them that they can do so much more than you. Work with them, admire them, do not pity them. You're the one that needs pity. We also learn sign language. I can talk to other nationalities, but I cannot speak to 300,000 Thais. So we have to learn sign language also. And also those who are visually impaired have come to us. We're helping them to grow vegetables together. So now blind people can grow vegetables. So there's no end to what you can do. And it all came from students, came from children. And also they help people with disabilities to earn income. Again, to earn income, not to give, but teach them how to earn income. There's a loan fund, and they pay their interest in community service, not in cash. Students and parents pay their school fees by planting trees and helping other people. They must have 800 trees and 800 hours of community service per year. So by that, Lily would be happy to hear this, that each year, each student that has finished schooling, grade 12, they will have planted almost 5,000 trees. We did that in Thailand. Before long, we'll have a lot of forests. Also, students help elderly villagers to improve the quality of life and as income generation. They are engaged in businesses as social entrepreneurs. You've got to know how to make money, then you can share it. So that's what they learn. Every student, we have a loan fund for every group. Each class has 300,000 baht for you to borrow, to do business, and to put 30% of your profits to help other people. And gain working experience through holiday time in internships. And so we want the school and other schools, we're helping 88 schools at the moment, with the help, of course, of Magnolia also, to help other schools to become gateways for social and economic progress in the villages surrounding, in partnership with companies. So in the future, school can be a gateway for all sorts of social and economic advancement. And this is where our students come from, about half the provinces of Thailand. We have also minorities, Mon, Karen, Hmong, and also now from Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Vietnam. And so these are some of the students from the left, Laos, and then Vietnam, and then Cambodia, and these are the ones from Vietnam. And of course, you've seen this before. Now, these are just some scenes at the school before we close up in the last 8 minutes. Here's the meeting of the government that's doing leadership skills. They will be the leaders of Thailand without any doubt, because they know how to do things and they teach the boys how to behave. The girls are very good. We say in our school, the boy must be able to do everything that a girl can. You must be as smart as the girls. That's our motto. Here's the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Science Technology, Minister of the University visiting. Students meet and handle and explain. No teachers around. This is how you learn. You've got to learn how to meet important people. And if you want to be a student, you're interviewed by the students. If you're a teacher, you have a written exam, an interview, and then you have to show how to teach, like the picture on the right. And they had their business, many sorts of businesses, and again, 30% of their profits must be shared. And our agriculture is where we use little land, little water, little labor to help people who are elderly, who are sick, and so on. So we concentrate in helping people at the end of the line with new agricultural skills. For instance, mushroom is 200% net profit. One beach umbrella worth of mushrooms will earn you a net profit of 30,000 baht, or about $1,000 per year. So very, very good income. And also with mushroom, and now the bean sprouts, this is 250% net profit in 4 days, much better than marijuana. And so these are the hydroponic vegetables operated by 7th grade students, melons, and he is learning how to give. We have a shrine of good wishes. In Thailand, we have many shrines. Praprom, Erawan, everywhere else. Everyone asks, please, please give me, give me, give me. This is a sign to give. We need more shrines to give. Every school should have. So every morning before class, they make a good wish for somebody else. That you start off by giving here, not from the pocket. So they start doing that. And everyone must sit in a wheelchair, as I've already mentioned. And now we've come up with, again, invention by the grade 10 kids, wheelchair agriculture. Raise the ground level up, they can grow now vegetables. So children in wheelchairs can grow vegetables, and we help to establish them in many schools in Thailand for children with wheelchairs with the help of companies. And so here you are. People can now go home and grow vegetables because in Thailand you can't go on train, taxis, buses, so they can't get to a job. So let's help them to have a job at home in growing vegetables. And every Wednesday is your future day. What do you want to be? You want to be a teacher? You go out and teach. You want to be an agricultural specialist? You go out and help the schools. And we now have helped about 150 schools to establish their own vegetable farm and a loan fund as a social enterprise in each school. The students are involved. And now we've turned the bamboo school into a special place as a country club for the elderly. You know, the country club, you've heard about it in many countries. In Bangkok, maybe like the sports club. So they come and spend time there, they can swim in our pool, they can talk to students, they can walk around, they can relax. Why can't we make a school more than just a place for kids? Why not for grandmothers and grandfathers and a place they can learn? So that's happening now. So here's what we call a positive partnership. They do business together and he gets 35% and she gets 65% of the income. But we've got a positive partnership, working together. And the elderly come to learn how to grow vegetables, taught by students, and a loan fund made available. And the interest is paid in community service. And here is positive partnership again. Elderly people and our students are pairing together to do businesses where you have raised income. And so here is the farm and helping in other schools. We're doing about 88 schools at the moment. And so the students are doing all their own agriculture. So they're learning how to be smart farmers, not only in class, but they'll learn how to do this too. And this school only has cement. We said, never mind. We can make it colorful and grow vegetables on cement. Everything's possible. And so the students in these schools have a loan fund. They do the agricultural businesses. And the community can also borrow from the school to income generation. So the school's job is to help parents get out of poverty, not to put them into poverty. So all these things are possible. So now we believe a school must be a gateway for social and economic advancement. And this is in Mae Hong Son, in the north, a school called, I forgot the name, Madit, yes. And the kids are now doing their own vegetable farm. And these are all Karen. Very mountainous area. And this I would like everyone to know here. The company that is working with us, helping us, has been named most ethical companies in the world. It's the first one from Thailand. So let's give a hand. Nobody in Thailand knows this. We must make it known. You know, Kun Bee and her team have kept very quiet about it all. And it's our job to let the Thais know that you can be proud. But one of the things a lot of you don't know, I'm not aware of any other company in the world that puts 2% of its revenue into charity, even before you make a loss or a profit. 2% of your revenue. Nobody else does it. They put X% of their profits if they do it. So again, this is admirable, and I think we should pass it around and perhaps get more companies to do something like this. But I think it's worthwhile recognizing that we have amongst us a company that we should really give them a lot of praise. And the proposal to expand the Givers Network is to improve CSR from one CSR to include corporate and individual social responsibility in the companies. and then to be customer social responsibility, and finally children social responsibility. We should have courses for children about social responsibility and what to do. Yeah? And I believe that all school children should be taught about sharing and giving and make this a compulsory subject. And we should encourage young people to write proposals to make change. So let's work with Lily and get more to do. Go to every company and get the young to change, because the old generation is not changing the country in a positive way, doing it in a negative way. So let's get the young a chance. And this is what the UN said about the bamboo school, that it's supposed to be a good school, and I hope they don't change their mind soon. And then finally, we must make the youth of today change makers of tomorrow, not hope, make. We have to be very active, all educational institutions, parents, and not only that, we should also let them realize that gender equality is the beginning of success. And so that's the end, and I'd like now to invite the students of the Bamboo School to come and play you a song, just to show that this, and if you wish to talk to them afterwards, they'll be around all day. They come from many parts of the country. They all come from sort of down from Buffalo's back, ลงหลังควายมาทั้งนั้น